Thanks for visiting my channel today. We are in the throes of a deep freeze here in central Ohio, so I thought it'd be a great day to make chili. We haven't had it in a while, and like I said, it's been really cold here, and I thought it would be a good time to make it, so I thought I'd bring you along and let you see how I do it. There are a million different ways to make chili. This is just my way of doing it. It's really you can adjust everything to your taste. It's all entirely how you want to make it. Chili is pretty basic. It's basically a chop and drop. Unless you're making a fancy chili of some kind, it's really a chop and drop kind of thing, and then just let it simmer slowly and let all those flavors meld together, and it's great comfort food. So let's get started. Okay guys, here we go. We're gonna start off by browning our ground beef. Like I said, this is just a basic chili. This isn't a fancy chili. Some people use steak, which is really great. But for today's purposes and what my family really loves is just a nice basic chili. So I'm browning off some ground beef. And to that, I'm going to add some veggies. I've got one jalapeno, about a half a cup of green pepper, about a half a cup of sweet red pepper, about a half a cup of onion, and 3 cloves of garlic that I'm going to go ahead and add to the meat. I know there are different schools of thought on this. Some people completely brown their meat and then add their veggies, and that's totally fine. This is just how I do it, and it tastes perfectly fine to us. So if you want to do it a different way, by all means. But I like to just cook them all together as my meat is browning. So they get a little saute on them as well. And now I'm just going to add some salt and pepper. I like to use the pink Himalayan salt, but you can use whatever you like. And I'm going to add some pepper here. And let that finish browning, and then I'll bring you back and show you all the other things that I add to make the chili. Okay, my ground beef has browned and my veggies are starting to get tender. So now we're gonna add some beans and tomatoes. So we're gonna start with 1 can of stewed tomatoes. Now, in this recipe, I'm using several things that I canned from our garden, but you can totally use off the shelf from the grocery store. For years, I just have recently learned to can, and we started gardening. So for years, I bought stuff off the grocery store shelf, so it's totally fine. But stewed tomatoes, in my opinion, are a must in chili. They smell so good. Smells like summer. And then we're going to add a jar of chili beans. And these are chili beans, obviously, that I've canned myself. But you can buy chili beans at your grocery store. Now, beans are what style you like, and all that is entirely up to you. The chili beans that I canned myself was a combination of kidney beans, pinto beans, and black beans. So you can use a combination of any kind of beans that you like. I'm also going to add a can of kidney beans. I haven't had a chance to can just straight up kidney beans, and I really like those in chili. So I'm going to use a can from the grocery store. I'll turn my heat down to medium. And then I'm going to add about 15 ounces of tomato sauce. This is tomato sauce that I canned from our garden, but you can just buy tomato sauce from the grocery store. And now we're going to start to season it up. I really love Worcestershire in chili, but that's entirely up to you. Just about a tablespoon or so. Adds a nice depth of flavor in the background, I think. And then we're going to add a lot of chili powder. Even though I've got the seasoned beans in there, I want more. So I'm going to add start with about a tablespoon of good quality chili powder. We'll probably end up adding more, but we're going to start with that. And then we're going to add a little dash of cumin, ground cumin, just to add a little bit of smokiness. Also some smoked paprika for that smoky flavor. And then some oregano, about a teaspoon or so of oregano. And then I'm also going to add about a teaspoon or two of seasoned salt. Oops, wrong side. And then we're going to bring that up to a nice simmer. And then the other thing that I like to add to kind of balance out the heat, and I love this for Mexican dishes and Southwest and spicy dishes, and that's agave in the raw. It's just that little bit of sweetness that helps to balance out the spiciness. And we're just going to add about a tablespoon. If you like a sweet chili, you can add more if you want. But I start with a teaspoon, and then you can always add more. If you add too much in the beginning, obviously you can't take it out. So it's good to be conservative. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to put my lid on, bring it up to a simmer, and let it simmer for a good hour or so, give it a taste, adjust my seasonings if I need to, but basically that's it. Like I said, it's a chop and drop kind of soup, so comforting this time of year. And we're just gonna let that simmer. If you have all afternoon, it's really great for it to just simmer for a long period of time, but we're getting close to dinner time here because I've been doing some other things. So I'm gonna let it simmer for about an hour, and then I will bring you back. We'll give it a little taste and show you how I finish it up. Okay guys, we're back. My chili has been simmering for about half hour, 40 minutes, something like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it a taste, see if we need to season it up anymore, and then I'm going to take the lid off and let it cook with the lid off for a while so we get some evaporation and some concentration and get it to thicken up a little bit. I did want to mention that if you like a thick chili, you might want to add a small can of tomato paste. That'll help thicken it up. Usually for me, what you saw me add is good for us. It's not too runny, it's not necessarily thick, it's just a nice consistency by the time it's done cooking. So let's give it a taste and see where we are. We have just a nice light simmer going on. It smells so good, so great for this time of year, so comforting. Really good. I think I'm going to add a little more salt. A little more pepper. I'm going to add another dash of Worcestershire. And a couple more shakes of chili powder. Give that a stir. Tomatoes from my garden were kind of, when you can them, you add citric acid, which makes them pretty acidic. So I'm going to add just another tablespoon of the agave in the raw, just to take the edge off of that acidity from my tomatoes. And I'm gonna let that simmer with the lid off. I did want to mention that if you like super spicy chili, you could certainly add some cayenne pepper. You could add Tabasco. Tabasco is kind of nice because it's got the vinegar in it, and it has a little bit of a vinegary bite in the background to your chili, so that's kind of nice. but this just has a little, the way that I've made it and the things that I've added give it, it has that nice chili flavor, but it's not what I would consider spicy. It's just got a tiny bit of a bite to it. So I think I'm just gonna go with that. I think we're good. Gonna let that simmer for another half hour, 40 minutes or so. And while that's going on, I'm gonna make some cornbread. My family loves chili with sweet cornbread. So I'm gonna work on that while that's simmering. And when we're ready, I'll bring you back and show you how I finish it off and how I serve it. Welcome back. Our chili is all done. It is simmered nicely, thickened up some. For me, it's not too thick, it's not too thin. My family likes this texture. If you want it thicker, like I said, by all means, go ahead and add some tomato paste to it and it'll thicken it up more and make it just perfect for you. Just wanted to show you how I like to finish it. See that beautiful bowl of comforting chili. I like to finish it off with a little sprinkle of cheddar cheese and a dollop of sour cream and fresh green onion. And then my husband requested, and we like it this way, with a side of beautiful comforting cornbread. So can't beat that. Chili and cornbread, simple, delicious comfort food. I hope you'll give it a try. There are a million ways to make chili. This is just the way that I like it, but I would encourage you to try it with stewed tomatoes if you haven't done that before. And if you are a gardener, I highly encourage you to try your hand at canning tomatoes. It's not hard, and it's so wonderful to have them on your shelf for the dead of winter when we have these ice cold temperatures, for making a great bowl of chili, as well as other great recipes. When I opened my jar of tomatoes to make my chili, it just took me back to summer. They smelled so good, and it's just really great to have something that you made on your shelf. So I encourage you to give canning a try if you haven't done so. So anyway, thanks for coming along with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give chili a try. If you've never made chili, change it up a million different ways. Just ground beef, use whatever onions, peppers, and tomatoes you like, whatever beans you like, throw it all in a pot, let it simmer for a while, and you'll have a great bowl of delicious chili. So thanks for coming along with me today. If you liked my video, give me a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the fun. And you can join me again for another great recipe, canning tutorial. Got some beauty things coming up, so you won't want to miss it. So hit the subscribe button. Go out and have a great day, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.